Have you ever wondered why some people in their golden years maintain sharp minds, while others struggle with memory loss? What if I told you that 5 seemingly innocent habits practiced after age 60 could be secretly damaging your brain and significantly increasing your risk of Alzheimer's disease? In the next 20 minutes, you're going to discover exactly which daily routines might be putting your cognitive health in jeopardy. And more importantly, you'll learn the simple yet powerful alternatives that could help protect your brain for years to come. But here's the thing. Some of these habits might surprise you because they're things many people consider harmless or even healthy. So stick around until the very end, because the last habit I reveal could be the most dangerous one of all. And the solution might completely change how you think about brain health after 60. Did you know that every 66 seconds, someone in the United States develops Alzheimer's disease? That's a staggering statistic that should make us all pause and think about what we can do to protect our minds as we age. But here's what's even more concerning. Many of the habits that increase our risk of this devastating condition are things we do every single day without even realizing their impact on our brain health. Are you unknowingly engaging in activities that could be setting you up for cognitive decline? Let's dive deep into this critical topic, because understanding these risks could literally save your mind. The first dangerous habit that's silently attacking your brain after 60 is excessive television watching and passive entertainment consumption. Now, I'm not saying you need to throw your TV out the window, but hear me out on this one. When we spend hours upon hours sitting in front of screens, constantly consuming content without engaging our minds, we're essentially putting our brains into hibernation mode. Think about it. When was the last time you watched television and actually had to solve a problem, think critically, or engage multiple areas of your brain simultaneously? The research is crystal clear on this point. Prolonged periods of passive entertainment consumption can lead to decreased neuroplasticity, reduced cognitive reserve, and accelerated brain aging. What happens when your brain isn't challenged regularly? It's just like a muscle that isn't used. It begins to weaken and atrophy. But why is this particularly dangerous after 60? As we age, our brains naturally begin to lose some of their processing speed and efficiency. This is completely normal and expected. However, when we compound this natural aging process with habits that further reduce mental stimulation, we're essentially accelerating cognitive decline. Are you spending more than 4 hours a day watching television or scrolling through your phone without engaging in meaningful mental activity? So, you might be unknowingly fast-tracking your brain toward problems you never wanted to face. The alternative to this dangerous habit is surprisingly simple yet incredibly powerful active mental engagement. Instead of passively watching television for hours, try watching educational documentaries that make you think. Or better yet, engage in activities that require active participation. Have you considered taking up crossword puzzles, learning a new language, or even playing strategic games that challenge different areas of your brain? The key here is active versus passive engagement. When you actively participate in mental challenges, you're essentially giving your brain a workout, strengthening neural connections, and building what scientists call cognitive reserve. What exactly is cognitive reserve, and why should you care about it? Think of cognitive reserve as your brain's savings account. The more you deposit through challenging mental activities, the more resources your brain has to draw from if and when it faces challenges like Alzheimer's disease. People with higher cognitive reserve often show symptoms of dementia later than those with lower reserve, even when their brains show similar levels of disease-related damage. Isn't it amazing to think that the activities you choose today could determine how well your brain functions 20 years from now? The second dangerous habit that's putting your brain at risk is social isolation and lack of meaningful human connection. This might be one of the most overlooked factors in brain health, but the science behind it is absolutely compelling. When we isolate ourselves from others, when we stop engaging in meaningful conversations and social interactions, Our brains literally begin to change in ways that increase our risk of cognitive decline. Have you noticed yourself withdrawing from social activities that you used to enjoy? Are you spending days or even weeks with minimal, meaningful human interaction? Social isolation doesn't just affect your mood, it actually changes your brain structure. Studies have shown that people who are socially isolated have increased levels of inflammation in their brains, higher levels of stress hormones like cortisol, and reduced activity in areas of the brain responsible for memory and learning. What's even more concerning is that social isolation can create a vicious cycle. The more isolated you become, the more difficult it becomes to engage socially, which leads to further isolation and greater brain health risks. Think about your typical week. How many meaningful conversations do you have? I'm not talking about brief exchanges at the grocery store or casual greetings with neighbors. I'm talking about conversations that engage your mind, make you think, challenge your perspectives, or simply bring you joy through human connection. If you're struggling to come up with examples, you might be falling into this dangerous pattern. Without even realizing it, the solution to social isolation is intentional community, building and meaningful relationship cultivation. This doesn't mean you need to become a social butterfly overnight, but it does mean making conscious efforts to connect with others in ways that benefit both your emotional and cognitive health. Have you considered joining a book club, volunteering in your community, or participating in group activities that align with your interests? What about rekindling relationships with old friends or family members you haven't spoken to in a while? But here's what makes social engagement so powerful for brain health. It's not just about having people around you. It's about the quality of those interactions. When you engage in meaningful conversations, you're exercising multiple areas of your brain simultaneously. You're processing language, reading facial expressions and body language, accessing memories, forming responses, and often solving problems or sharing ideas. This kind of complex mental activity is like a full-body workout for your brain. The third dangerous habit that could be sabotaging your cognitive health is poor sleep quality and inconsistent sleep patterns. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I've heard about sleep and health before. But have you really considered how profoundly sleep affects your brain's ability to protect itself against Alzheimer's disease? The connection between sleep and brain health goes far deeper than most people realize. And the consequences of poor sleep become dramatically more serious after age 60. During quality sleep, your brain performs what scientists call housekeeping functions. Your brain literally washes itself, clearing away toxic proteins that accumulate during waking hours. One of these proteins is called amyloid beta, and it's the same protein that forms the plaques found in the brains of people with Alzheimer's disease. Are you getting consistent quality sleep that allows your brain to perform this crucial cleaning process? If not, you could be allowing these toxic proteins to accumulate in your brain, night after night. Asterisk, but it's not just about the quantity of sleep, the quality matters just as much. How often do you find yourself tossing and turning, waking up multiple times throughout the night, or feeling unrefreshed even after what should have been adequate sleep? Poor sleep quality disrupts the brain's natural cleaning cycles, interferes with memory consolidation, and increases inflammation throughout the body, including in the brain. What many people don't realize is that sleep patterns often change as we age, and what worked for our sleep in our 40s might not be sufficient for our brain health in our 60s and beyond. Are you still trying to function on the same sleep schedule you had decades ago? Or have you adapted your sleep habits to support your changing brain health needs? The solution involves creating what sleep experts call sleep hygiene, a of practices that promote consistent quality sleep. This means going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, even on weekends. It means creating a bedroom environment that's cool, dark, and quiet. It means avoiding screens for at least an hour before bedtime and being mindful of what you eat and drink in the evening hours. Have you considered how your evening routine might be impacting your brain's ability to clean itself while you sleep? But here's something that might surprise you about sleep and brain health. not just about preventing Alzheimer's disease. Quality sleep actually enhances your brain's ability to form new memories, process emotions, and solve problems. When you prioritize sleep, you're not just protecting your future cognitive health, you're optimizing your brain function right now. How different might your days feel if you consistently woke up feeling truly refreshed and mentally sharp? Fat. Fourth dangerous habit is perhaps one of the most controversial because it involves something that many people consider essential for relaxation and social connection: excessive alcohol consumption. Now, before you stop listening because you enjoy your evening glass of wine or weekend cocktails, let me be clear about what I mean by excessive and why this becomes particularly important after age 60. As we age, our bodies process alcohol differently than they did when we were younger. Our metabolism slows down, our liver function may not be as efficient, and our brains become more sensitive to alcohol's effects. What might have been a harmless amount of alcohol in your 40s could be causing significant damage to your brain. Health in your 60s. Are you drinking the same amount of alcohol you did 20 years ago, assuming it has the same impact on your health? Research has shown that regular alcohol consumption, even at levels considered moderate, can accelerate brain shrinkage and increase the risk of dementia. Alcohol disrupts sleep patterns, increases inflammation, interferes with the brain's cleaning processes, and can actually kill brain cells over time. But here's what's particularly concerning. The damage often happens gradually and silently, so you might not notice the effects until significant harm has already occurred. Think about your current relationship with alcohol. Are you using it as a daily stress reliever? You find it difficult to imagine social situations or relaxation without alcohol? Have you noticed that you need more alcohol than you used to in order to feel the same relaxing effects? These could be signs that alcohol is becoming a dangerous habit for your brain health. The alternative doesn't necessarily mean complete abstinence, but it does mean being much more intentional and careful about alcohol consumption. Consider limiting alcohol to special occasions rather than daily consumption. When you do choose to drink, opt for smaller quantities and always ensure you're staying well hydrated with water. Have you explored other ways to relax and socialize that don't involve alcohol? What about herbal teas, sparkling water with fresh fruit, or simply enjoying the natural endorphins that come from good conversation and laughter? But here's what I find most encouraging about reducing alcohol consumption. People often report that their sleep quality improves dramatically. Right. Energy levels increase, and their mental clarity becomes noticeably sharper. Instead of relying on alcohol to feel relaxed, they discover natural ways to manage stress that actually enhance rather than compromise their brain health. The fifth and final dangerous habit might be the most surprising of all, and it's something that affects millions of people over 60 without them even realizing it: chronic dehydration and poor nutrition timing. You might think you're drinking enough water and eating healthy foods, but are you really providing your brain with what it needs when it needs it to function optimally and protect against cognitive decline? Dehydration, even mild dehydration, can significantly impact cognitive function, memory, and concentration. As we age, our sense of thirst becomes less reliable, and we might not realize we are dehydrated until we're already experiencing symptoms like fatigue, confusion, or irritability. But here's what's truly alarming. Chronic dehydration can contribute to increased inflammation in the brain, reduced blood flow to crucial brain regions, and impaired waste removal from brain cells. How much water are you actually drinking throughout the day? When I ask people this question, they often realize they're relying on coffee, tea, and other beverages for most of their fluid intake without consuming adequate plain water. Your brain is approximately 75% water, and it depends on proper hydration to function efficiently. Are you giving your brain the hydration it needs to protect itself against cognitive decline? But hydration is only part of the equation. Nutrition timing is equally important for brain health. Many people over 60 fall into patterns of skipping Meals, eating irregularly, or consuming most of their calories late in the day. This creates blood sugar fluctuations that can damage brain cells over time and interfere with the brain's energy supply. When did you last eat a substantial, nutritious meal? Okay? Are you providing your brain with steady, consistent fuel throughout the day? The solution involves both increasing water intake and optimizing meal timing for brain health. This means drinking water consistently throughout the day, not just when you feel thirsty. It means eating balanced meals at regular intervals to maintain stable blood sugar levels. It means being mindful of how different foods affect your mental clarity and energy levels. Have you noticed how you feel mentally after drinking plenty of water compared to when you're even slightly dehydrated? What about how your concentration and memory change when you eat regular, balanced meals versus when you skip meals or eat irregularly? These seemingly simple changes can have profound impacts on both your immediate cognitive function and your long-term brain health. Now, you might be wondering how to implement all of these changes without feeling overwhelmed. The key is to start small and build gradually. You don't need to transform every aspect of your life overnight. Instead, choose one habit to focus on first, perhaps improving your sleep routine or increasing your water intake. Once that becomes natural and automatic, add another positive change. Which of these 5 dangerous habits resonates most strongly with you? Which one do you think might be having the biggest impact on your current cognitive function? Remember, the goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Every positive change you make is an investment in your brain's future health and your quality of life. The choices you make today about how you spend your time, how you care for your body, and how you challenge your mind will influence how you think, remember, and experience life for years to come. Understanding these 5 dangerous habits is just the beginning. The real power comes from taking action, making changes, and staying consistent with brain-healthy choices. Your brain has a remarkable ability to adapt and improve at any age. Scientists call this neuroplasticity. By eliminating these dangerous habits and replacing them with brain-healthy alternatives, you're not just preventing cognitive decline, you're actively promoting cognitive enhancement. Think about where you want to be mentally and cognitively 5, 10, or 20 years from now. What kind of memories do you want to be making and keeping? What activities do you want to still be able to enjoy? What conversations do you want to be having with your loved ones? The habits you choose today are literally shaping your cognitive future. The research is clear. Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia are not inevitable parts of aging. While genetics play a role, lifestyle factors have an enormous impact on brain health and cognitive longevity. By understanding and avoiding these 5 dangerous habits, you're taking control of your cognitive destiny in ways that can make a real, measurable difference in your life. If you've made it this far, you're clearly someone who cares about protecting your brain health and maintaining your cognitive abilities as you age. That tells me you're the kind of person who takes action when you learn something important. So here's what I want you to do right now. First, hit that like button if this information has been valuable to you, because it helps me know that you want more content like this. Second, if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, make sure you do that now so you don't miss future videos about brain health and healthy aging. Third, I want you to leave a comment below telling me which of these 5 dangerous habits you're most committed to changing, because sharing your commitment publicly makes you much more likely to follow through. And finally, there's another video appearing on your screen right now that dives even deeper into specific brain-healthy foods and supplements that can further protect your cognitive function. Make sure you watch that next to complete your brain health education. Your future self will thank you for taking these steps today.